Hey there, so we're continuing our focus on your shoulder health. Last week we were looking at some stretching and mobility work to release the shoulders. This week we're using a ball. If you don't have a ball, do last week again. Rather than me telling you what to do in this session, just go back and play last week. We're doing pretty much the same stuff today, but just with a different tool. In terms of a ball, it can be, a trigger point ball, a special ball for foam rolling, one of those horrible spiky balls. It can be a tennis ball. It can be the ball that your dog chews, so long as the dog will let you have it for a bit, whatever. So just a ball that's firm. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. So we're going to start off, ideally you're going to do this against the wall. If you don't have a wall that would work, then you can be doing it on the floor as well. But when you're on the floor, it's harder to adjust how much pressure you put in. So it's easier on a wall. If you find you keep on dropping your ball, put your ball into a sock, and then you can just hold on to the end of the sock and you won't keep on dropping your ball. So we're going to start off with our traps. We talked about our traps last week. That was the one with the stretch like that. Putting the ball just at the back of the shoulder, the tops of the shoulder. So imagine if somebody came up behind you and gave you a little massage behind you, that's where they're working into here. These are the bits that get really tight, particularly when we're stressed and our shoulders end up behind or up by our ears. These are the muscles that are tightening up to bring them up here. So we want to be able to release them with our ball. So I'm just working through, and I can adjust how much pressure I put in there by how firmly I lean back against the wall. That's why I prefer doing it against the wall than on the floor, because if you're on the floor, it's harder to adjust that pressure. But if you haven't got a convenient wall, then use the floor. And I'm just working in, still on the same side, working in all around the back there, around that sort of top of the shoulder. And then onto the other side. And if you're not feeling anything going on here, brilliant. Probably you're nice and relaxed and you don't kind of default to that shoulders hunched up position. But if you're feeling a lot of clicking, crunching, those knots in there, then just work through them. If they're really painful, don't go in for the knot itself, work around the knot, work the surrounding area. We want to loosen up the fascia. So fascia is the sort of string of, it's almost like cling film that's around all our muscles, holds everything in place. If you think of when you cut a lamb chop, you see that kind of looks like cling film. That's the fascia that surrounds the muscle. And when that gets all kind of bunched up and tight, it's going to inhibit our movement. It can lead to pain and things. So here we're just loosening it all out. When we're rolling, as well as helping to loosen the fascia, we're also restricting the blood. And then as the pressure comes away, the blood comes flooding in. So we're helping to flood that point of constriction with some blood to help the healing. Whole load of other things going on with rolling. In terms of which is best, rolling or stretching, we did the sort of stretching and the mobility work last week. Today we're doing the rolling. A bit of both. No wrong or right. I'd say the one that you prefer, the one that's most convenient for you, is the one you're more likely to do, so go for that. But if you have a choice, a bit of both. Okay, from there, we're going to start to work around the back of the shoulder blade. So drop the ball down a little bit lower and working around the shoulder blade. You don't want to roll onto the actual bone itself, just work around that area. Have a whole little explore around there, find where you find is feeling tightest and get in there. And then over onto the other side. So again, just working around the shoulder blade, trying not to, I can feel my shoulder tensing up there. If I'm tensing, I'm not helping the muscle to relax. So you only want to put in as much pressure as you can relax through. You can hear me talking, I'm talking fairly relaxed. I'm not sort of wincing as I go. So you want to keep it so you can feel you're working in there, but not so hard that you're having to tense. Keep that nice relaxed breathing as you work through. Okay, so we've done our traps, those ones at the top. We've done our shoulders. loosening up the shoulder blade. And then if you remember last week, we were also looking at our chest and doing that chest opener. Here we're going to do it with our ball, so onto a table, hard surface, or you can do this against the wall, but you tend to kind of headbutt yourself. So you're going to work up and down, if you imagine if you're wearing a bra, up and down the front of the bra strap, up and down the border between the arm and the body. So I'm just pushing in, working through there. This can be quite ouchy. Again, adjust how much pressure you're putting in there. You can roll it around, or you can kind of redirect the pressure you're putting in. Again, don't roll onto the bone, that's never comfortable. But just work through there. Found a proper triggery point there, so I'm just going to hold it here and deeply breathe into it. Appreciate this isn't the most exciting video, but hopefully you're not watching me, you're getting on and finding out what's going on with your own body. On to the other side. And same as last week, we're going to follow this up with a quick bit of actually engaging the muscles. We've loosened them up, giving ourselves the potential to then engage them. Hopefully since last week you've been thinking to check in on that posture. The more times we do it, the more we can start to change the position we tend to get set in. The more we spend all our time seated, we spend all our time kind of over our computers, over our phones like this, and so our body adapts, and so we're going to be walking around like this, which isn't good for our physical health. We want that full movement. It's not good for our mental health. We project ourselves with more confidence. We feel like we have more confidence when we stand in that confident position rather than all bent forward. It's not good for our sport, because if we're like that, we haven't got that full range of motion. So we want to keep on re-engaging rather than going to the default position of here. We need to keep reminding our body, no, this is where we want to be. So we need to loosen things up so we've got that full capacity to get into that position, and then we want to engage. So last week we were talking about, we call it our no money, our hands up towards the ceiling going, oh, got no money, like that. Today we're just going to try with our thumbs facing forwards, thumbs out to the side, thumbs behind us. Very similar action. As you do that, you should be able to feel those muscles around the back of the shoulder blades engaging. So holding 3, 2, 1, relax, go again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Now without using your thumbs, I want you to refine that position, so engaging the shoulder blades. So you don't need to do the thumbs behind you, because you don't do that in normal life. You're just resetting those shoulder blades coming together and down. We're thinking about our head position as well. So rather than our head being forwards, earlobes above our shoulders, which you can do by looking out, trying to look behind us with our eyes. Just holding our posture there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then if you do the Club Feel Fit sessions, you'll be used to my twirl sequence. We can also just add in a little bit of stability. So kneeling on one knee, you can put a cushion underneath your knee if you want to. Doesn't matter which knee we're kneeling on. The knee isn't the important thing here. We're holding our arms out to the sides and we're making a T shape. So I'll just show you all your shapes here. T, W, A, Y, L. So I call it twirl. Let's just have a go at those. So chest just resting onto your knee, arms up, shoulder blades together and down. We're not flapping our arms. It's not about moving the arms. It's just shoulder blades together and down. Same as we did with our thumbs behind us. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll go into a W. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm trying to move out the light. Into an A, palms up to the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, into a Y. This is the hard one, hands up. So we're trying to get that position there. 5, shoulder blades together and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then into our L. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I would do all of those for longer, maybe 3 of those 5-second holds in each of those shapes. And obviously if we're trying to actually change something, we want to be doing it regularly, but that's just a kind of idea. Those of you who know you've got issues in that area, something to come back to and refer to. So if you tend to have grumbly shoulders, if you struggled, if that was really painful, we weren't probably doing long enough with the ball there, but it's giving you an idea of something to come back to, something to work on when you've got time. You could just do it while you're watching TV, get that ball out, have a loosen up, and then trying to remember throughout the day to reset. You can just do the thumbs and the head position, or if you've got time, you could do your twirl, any version of your twirl. Okay, I hope that helps, and I hope you are having happy shoulders.